some of the cool things that I think everyone here in the room, all the students, kind of embody. A weird quirkiness and chutzpah and persistence. I hate the word resilience, but it would be a good word to use if I like the word resilience. When legislators came to campus, he was there to speak up for the English department and the MA program. And since we have spent quite some time together, it has, to me, been really exhilarating to see how he has evolved, how his art has become much more personal, much more inward-looking, outward-looking, cohesive, and just plainly more beautiful. And so, with great pleasure, Adam Amjadi.
Those were very kind words. I greatly appreciate them. These are going to be some very hard acts to follow. I loved hearing your writing, and I'm very proud of you all. And I'm very glad that we were able to come up in the same classes together for all the time that we did. I actually wasn't going to read today originally. I mean, I was and I wasn't, now I am again, because I want to read with my cohort, and I decided that this is a great time and place to do so, especially with the MA program suspended for the foreseeable future. So I have a few poems today. I originally started out as a prose writer, so I'm still working on poetry, but the reason I want to devote my thesis, or make my thesis a poetic thesis, is simply because I think that I want to be able to have a chance while I'm still here, while I still have the help and the insight of my professors, to sort of work on my poetic craft. These are some first drafts. I'm still gonna revise them before I add them to the thesis, but I'm gonna start with one called Roses. Roses to you, those who suffer, those who toil, those who have lost. Roses aplenty I have for you, and wine and hugs and music and company, and a promise that if we stick together, the cycle can be broken. Tell me about your mothers and fathers. Were they young when they had you? Did they see the years of labor lying ahead, a vision overpowered by the love of their newborn, and the desire to go on come whatever may? Roses do have their thorns, but we cultivate them, because their beauty and their scent so stunningly outweigh the pain of the pricking of a finger that we understand. These flowers are worth having around. These flowers are part of who we are. It's the loudest declaration in the world, clutching your rose till your palms bleed. No weapons, no saving deceit, nothing to shield you from the maniacs standing in front of you, high as a kite off hegemonic domination, ready to bash in your skull with a brick for crimes unforgivable, namely, love of peace, want of equity, words of defiance. To you all, I can only say, don't let go. Protect your rose at all costs. Let it be in your hands still when your final breath comes around. This next one is another earlier poem I wrote that I'm hoping to revise and add to my thesis. It's called Of Generations. Sometimes at night, under the glow of the moon, when the sky is clear and you can see countless distant suns peering down at you, if you stand barefoot on firm earth and empty your mind of self and stretch humbly your arms out to the starry void, you can feel shooting up through you, coiling itself around your nerve endings, firing out from your fingertips and circling your brain, the blood, sweat, breath, and memories of generations. Generations past, present, and future. Generations rising and falling into the ground. countless generations. Generations high on sin and saintliness. Generations enduring, having faith. Generations of Eves proud and jaded, grasping as hard as they can, holding on to anything and everything that brings solace and purpose under the sun. Generations failing, generations succeeding. Each of us are the generations, the dead, the living, and the yet to be born. All these, with and within, an ocean of souls as old as life itself. I shudder, I rejoice. And that's the end of that one. And I don't know if I should go for one more or two. It depends on how much time I have left. What do you think? Well, okay. I'll do one more and see what happens. This one is called Adam. It's about not me in particular, but my namesake, the first man in all the Abrahamic religions, which is part of the reason my parents chose the name, and I was their first child. So this one's simply called Adam. I think often of my namesake, a man made of dust, expelled from Eden, Adam, as good a name as any. He had it all, endless comfort, immortality, the fruits of trees and vines. In a single moment, he lost it all. All he had left was family and sweat. Adam, I summon your shade. Tell me, when at 930 years old, you closed your eyes on the world for the final time, a father of many, a noble son in exile, was your heart broken, or did you view your work with pride? Was Eve there to hold your hand? Was Seth there, lamenting? Were you lying down, or did you keel over? Did you hear Abel's young voice growing nearer, assuring you that everything would be all right, and that you two would finally be together again? Or did you hear nothing at all? That's... And this one, I'll go for one more. This one's short. And it's one of the first poems I wrote after I started getting back into writing poetry. It's in my collection of poems that I'm currently working on. It was the first one I wrote. And it's simply called You Are Not Exempt. I lie vulnerable in the shadows of a bedroom, lights out, curtains drawn. I lounge and am naked, and my eyes are closed, and my blanket is nice and soft, and I am unsafe, but I don't care. I hear the clock ticking in the other room. Do you? Does it frighten you that you are not exempt? Thank you.